How I love to vibe when I'm vibing with you. How I love to vibe when the vibing is true. How I love to vibe when I'm vibing with you. We're vibing, we're vibing, we're vibing, we're vibing. It's Mike and Cass vibing out.
Hello, beautiful spirit.
Well, hello, beautiful spirit.
And hello, beautiful spirit, to all of you. We are coming to you today. This is Mike.
And this is Cass.
This is Mike and Cass vibing out,
baby.
And today we're talking about addition from subtraction. So that's just the topic we're going down, and probably we'll go down all different avenues with that. This can go in a lot of different directions. So, you know, we're excited for you to be here. I hope you're doing well today, and I hope this brings you lots of love and just positive energy.
Yes. And always it is a divine free flow. And addition by subtraction, what we mean by that is eliminating things that don't serve you. And that's on a number of levels, you know, whether it be certain relationships that don't serve you, certain thoughts that don't serve you, or certain pain bodies that you've been waiting for a lifetime, you know, to get rid of, you know, to get free, you know. And that's something that we both personally can relate to as of recently. You know what? One thing we do before we start our episodes, we take a minute to be intentional. So if you don't mind, why don't you actually join us, whether you're in your car, whether you're seeing this via YouTube, to take a few deep breaths with us. So start by just breathing deep in through your nose, out through your mouth. Just a couple more good deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. One more good deep breath in and just sustain and hold the breath. Set an intention for yourself to feel so much peace and love and to be receptive, open-hearted, open-minded, and release, let go. Notice how you feel.
I love that. Just even, that was 3 breaths, you know, and how much of a difference is that? And imagine doing that 2 or 3 times every day. You know, it can be just that small practice that can get you in the moment again and feeling good again and relax your whole nervous system. So, yeah, if you joined us with that, thank you.
Yes. So we like to keep it real, keep it personal. So I want to put you on the spot, you know, as far as like things that you noticed recently that you're letting go from, and the roller coaster of that. A lot of times when, you know, we're on our practices of evolving and we're feeling good and, you know, life is good. And then all of a sudden, for no reason, these pain bodies come up to be requalified. And a lot of times we think we're going backwards, but I want to let you know this is so important. You're not going backwards. You know, you're still growing, you're still moving forward. You know, some people call it the dark night of the soul. It's been called many things, but just know those pain bodies are coming up to be requalified, to finally be released, to lead to your next level of freedom. Yeah. So what's been speaking of you, what have you been going through? And I'll let you know, and obviously you already know. And the things that I've been, you know, going through to grow into freedom.
Yeah, I think one of the things that you've helped me a lot with in terms of just really being honest with myself about is people in my life. And, you know, where am I really spending my time and energy? Because you can't get those things back. Once a moment passes, you can't go back. And that's not to scare anyone or whatever, because you can choose right now moving forward to use your time and energy more efficiently, and that's completely fine. But I think there's a lot of people in my life I've realized, like, they're not really there for my growth, you know? They're great people, but maybe we're not in alignment with our purposes at this present moment. And you know, it's a back and forth too. Maybe I'm not really helping them grow either. So why am I in their life? And or in their life for like long period of time or for a good amount of energy spent. And so that's one thing I've realized recently is I, you know, spend most of my time alone now because that's when I feel my best. And I can work on myself, and then spending a lot of time with those who really help my growth and I help their growth. And it's just unconditional love, and it's deeper, than other relationships. That's been really prominent in my life.
That is something, that's a huge one for everybody. Knowing when to let go, not thinking that just because you've been friends for 20 years, or it's my cousin, or even if it's a sibling, at the end of the day, nobody can give you back a second of your life, so you got to be honest with yourself. Are those people, do they serve you? Do you feel better every time you leave their presence? Are they helping you grow? Are they helping you become a better version of yourself? And if they're not, even if you don't make any changes, at least give yourself the gift of being honest with yourself, so you at least have the opportunity to move forward, and when you start really valuing your time and your life on a level that is worthy of the king or the queen that you are, it'll become easier, and even if it's painful, there's a certain amount of freedom that comes immediately when you make the right decisions for yourself. And another thing that she brought up that maybe we'll have another episode on is when you get into your meditation practices, your spiritual practices, and you're by yourself and you're feeling amazing. Like a lot of those times, when you get back to yourself, it's like, and then you go back into the world. How do you maintain that? How do you maintain that peace and that power? So that's something maybe we'll talk about at another time. But people, human beings, those relationships outside yourself, so you can get back to dealing with the most important relationship with yourself. Because once we've eliminated those other people that may not be serving us, and understand you don't have to stop loving them. When you let go, of somebody, there's that cliche, if it's yours, it'll return to you, and loving people unconditionally means letting them go, a lot of the times. You let them be free. Even if they're in your life, there's always an energy of like non-attachment, just a true appreciation for what they bring to the table, and so that false sense of obligation a lot of us have about the roles that we play, being a son or a daughter or a sibling and a best friend, and feeling like we have to do all these things and what those roles mean, have us so tied up. But there's such freedom and giving yourself that power back of letting go of those energies, and sometimes in the form of human beings that don't serve you anymore.
Yeah, and we'll do a whole episode on roles that we play too. Yes, I know you had mentioned that the other day, and I don't think I wrote it down, so we'll do that too, because that's big, and we all have roles, and some of them serve us, our human selves, and others maybe don't, and we're just used to. So in your life, what kind of comes up right now in terms of addition by subtraction? Is there anything more prominent?
I always, am going through my life, because like certain people are for a season. Not everybody's for a lifetime. So I'm always doing constant life inventories and looking at the people in my life, and then does it serve me? And this comes business, personal, all relationships, and then ultimately it comes back to myself. And is my relationship with myself serving me fully? And what's come back for me is a need to really release and let go of underlying stress, which is really just stress is fear. From owning a business for almost a decade now, it's a roller coaster. And so high times of stress where I'm not sure I'm going to survive, or like how I'm going to make payroll. And, when other people's livelihoods are dependent on you, it's a bigger weight. And even when things aren't bad, what I've noticed is I carry like a low grade, like stress, which is really fear. Like, just to be honest, stress is fear. Because you're afraid something's going to go wrong. Am I not going to be able to make payroll? Is my business not going to survive? I'm not going to be able to keep serving people, That's fear. And so really letting go of that, because of getting to the point where I'm tired of not feeling my absolute 100 grown-ass kid self and like playing every day. Like, the universe has been good and allowing me to serve people and benefits that come from that. But the things that I thought that I would be excited about, like if I was 12 years old, looking at my life now, like, getting to experience certain things, going to the ocean, be able to see the ocean, and, be able to drive, certain cars or something that I like or things of that nature, and not having that full joy. And so, like, a real need to release and let go of fear. Fear is paralysis. And I think if we're honest with ourselves, there's certain levels of fear that we all deal with because we're bombarded by it, right? We're bombarded by fear, doubt, and worry. In the media, we get sold things. It's like, be scared, be fearful, now go buy this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Be scared, be fearful, now go buy this. You need this. So, a question for you guys is, what do you need to let go? Is there any things that labeled as stress, but is really fear that you need to let go of? And then also, when you were talking, if there's any subject that you guys want us to speak on, any questions that you have, please don't hesitate ever to ask and reach out so we can meditate on it and come back with the absolute divine answer.
Yeah, we have all our social media and stuff down below, whether you're watching on the podcast or YouTube. So you can email us, go Instagram, TikTok, DM us, anything, and we'll take requests and really get deep with a lot of the stuff you guys are interested in. But
let me ask you.
Yeah.
It's freedom time. It's so freedom time. It's so freedom time. So what are those things that you need to let go of other than, like, first we start with relationships. This is like a step process, right? First you start with the outside things.
Oh, wait, first, it just came back to me. While you were talking earlier, it popped in my head, and I know I've told you this before, but I want to say it before we get into the next kind of thing, is how I did, like you were talking about doing life inventory and stuff, and I did that, like, a couple weeks ago or whatever with the relationships in my life, and it was so interesting. It's very simple. I literally just wrote it down, and it was everyone that I have in my life that's like a decently important kind of person to me, who I spend a good amount of time or energy with, or even like a day every month or something, like even something like that, and just asking not really what do they do for me, that's not always the best way to ask it, but like, how do they help me grow and how do I help them grow? And maybe you don't know specifically how you help somebody grow, but usually it's a back and forth. If someone's helping you, and you're not just taking, it's not that type of energy. And that helped me a lot, just to be honest, because there were some people, like, nothing came up really besides they're a good person. Cool.
Yes, and it's hard to be honest about those things.
It's hard.
Because if we don't think enough of ourselves, a lot of times somebody being a good person, or like if somebody doesn't treat you like shit, you think like, oh, okay, they must be in my life. No, that's not the case. And
so that's a good practice to 100%. Do if you're looking to, get deeper into this topic and see maybe what you need to let go of in terms of relationships and stuff. And then we'll go to all other aspects in life. So what were you going to ask?
All right. Yeah, do people serve you? Do you serve them, and do people serve you? And we got to get out of, doesn't matter how we preface things, if somebody's not good for you, you don't owe anybody anything. Like that false sense of obligation of like,
it's that pressure, and you feel it in your heart, and it's so difficult, especially if you're not used to that. Like the first time you ever make that decision, that's going to be scary as hell. Like you're going to feel so terrified. It may take months or years to even like be honest with yourself about if you're even trying to. And so it's not necessarily an easy process, but it can add just so much to your life. And then I promise the more you do it, the easier it really does get. Like it's a practice, like anything in life.
And don't lie to yourself. If you getting like low grade, like a self-serving, if you're a people pleaser, that idea of pleasing somebody else, thinking that it's beneficial to you, be honest about that too, because that's not what we're talking about. That doesn't serve you. Does this person, are they callous for your growth and you being a better version of yourself? Be honest. So, in those like emotional bodies and the pain bodies of things letting go, has there been anything that's been coming up for you that you feel like you want to be free from?
I think there's so many things, and the full moon is right around the corner too, so that's cool, because it's like bringing up more stuff, which is hard and a lot, but I'm like ready to take on emotions and really deal with them, because like you were saying at first, like things are coming up to be requalified. Like, how can you let go of something if you don't know it's there? So it has to come up and you have to feel it. So you can be like, okay, I'm feeling it, and now it's, traveling away from me, basically. I think like trauma that I've been through in past relationships and stuff have kept coming up recently, and sort of ideas I have about myself, like that feeling of not being good enough, or feeling like I owe people, like there's that false sense of obligation. Those types of things kind of keep coming up, those limiting beliefs about my own worth. And that's where so many of this stems from. Like, I could think of so many other things that have popped up, but those are like the root of everything is my low sense of self-worth, or at least what it used to be. It's so much better than it used to be even a year or two ago, but there's still those layers to uncover. And the thing I want to say with that is how on the deepest level, we're all sort of just like being. We're normally at peace, or not normally, but we're naturally at peace. That's our natural state of being. That's why it feels so peaceful and so good to just like be calm, because that's how we're naturally supposed to be. And so there's all these things that kind of layer on top of us. And that's why it's addition by subtraction. We have to uncover those, let those things go to not gain anymore, but just come back to who we really are. And that's what it's about.
So it's like when you get back to, when you subtract those things, what you have is more time, literally more time. You absolutely have more energy. You automatically become a better version of yourself just by eliminating things that don't serve you. And the whole job a lot of time is just tearing down these layers. At the end of the day, this whole game, the big picture of it is called get out of your own way. And once you've completely gotten out of your own way, what's left is your true self. And within your true self is, like you said, is peace, is bliss. And when you were talking, what came up also is like, as these pain bodies come up to be requalified, understanding what you've done this is that there's always peace that'll be available. So you can feel peace. You can be so grounded in peace as you observe the pain, which is a trip. It's a trip, but that's a whole nother level of being powerful. That means you're now the observer, and you're watching this pain come up, but it no longer has that hold on you. And it's super powerful. One of the greatest analogies, I love this, is like the ocean. So powerful, waves crashing in, and woof. But then if you go down deep enough, it's complete stillness.
I've never heard that before. I love that.
And that is the reality for all of us, So all the crazy waves in our life and chaos and things outside ourselves and media and all these things that we get bombarded by. But just know at your center, at your true being, there's always peace there and available to you.
It's a difference between like being or becoming the emotion and just experiencing the emotion. And if you think about it, and this didn't make sense to me for a while until I was like, got really deep with myself and honest and stuff. I was like, how am I not my feelings? Like, this is how I'm feeling and this is how I am right now. But feelings can change in an instant. Think of when you're really like down about something and then something good happens externally, like you get a promotion at work or something great happens, then automatically your entire emotional charge changes. And like emotions are so hypocritical too. You've probably had many of the same thoughts or emotions and the exact opposite of them within like 2 seconds of each other or something. And so you can't be those emotions, and we're gonna all experience them. We're human. That's awesome that we can feel all these things, because we can feel peace and joy and happiness and excitement, and that's amazing. But to, like you were saying, be the observer, it takes again a lot of practice. That's where meditation comes in. And you just become the one who watches everything, instead of becoming those thoughts and feelings.
And another thing with just listening to what you said is that and this may sound crazy, but these are absolute truths. You put into practice. We're not making this up. For thousands of years, this information, these experiences are available, but you got to put in the work for yourself to experience this. And it sounds crazy, and it would have sounded crazy to me a long time ago, but happiness, like let's use happy as an example of the fluctuating emotions and being on this roller coaster of outside circumstances making you, oh, that's awesome. But then you allow an outside circumstance to dictate your overall joy. So let's say happiness is like those fluctuating things, but let's say within that, joy is the thing that can't be moved. That peace that's always there. And now I'm going to really mess you up. You can be joyful as a pain body walks through you. You can maintain a sense of joy even when you're going through pain.
It's a cool feeling too. Like when you finally do that, it's like you feel your own inner power, your just strength, because it's like, I'm not giving up my power to external things. I'm going to experience them because this is the world I live in, but they're not going to dictate my overall joy, peace in life, because that's who I am.
Yes.
And it's so beautiful. And
it's an ever unfolding, like there's master of nothing, like they're always at the beginning. There's still times if like I think I mastered something, then there'll be a different trigger that gets me. It's like, damn,
all back to day one.
Yeah. I thought I made it through that. So no, that's a part of the journey too. Yeah. But just know if you put in those work and those practices, that stillness and figuring out those spiritual practices that work for you, they pay such high dividends. And let me just tell you this. Let's keep it real. If stress is running your life, if you're spending your time and energy in places that don't bring you pure joy, that make you feel worse, that bring down your vibration and your energy, then you're not living. You're not living. You're just existing. And we came to this planet to live. And you're worthy of like a beautiful, joyous life. So do yourself the favor of giving yourself the chance. Go ahead and be courageous. Have those hard conversations if you need to. Have that hard conversation with yourself about your damn self-worth. And know that you're a beautiful being and you deserve joy, peace, true peace, tranquility, and bliss on a daily basis. You deserve that. And as you let go, as you keep subtracting the things that don't serve you, keep subtracting those energy and those thoughts that don't serve you. You keep letting those pain bodies come up to be qualified to a higher energy of magnificence of what you really are. You become who you really are. Ooh, Lord, it's so beautiful.
That was amazing. And we just passed 5:55 p.m., which is a number of letting go, which is perfect. And we didn't even plan to, do a video at this exact time or anything. Oh, my God. But that's
a great. We got to wrap it up. We got to wrap it up. We got to drop the mic on that one. So addition by subtracting.
What can you let go of?
Yes, addition by subtraction. Live the life you deserve. We love you so much. We're always rooting for you. Till next time. This is Cass. I'm Mike, and we just vibing out, baby.
We vibing.
We vibing. Peace.